Hi, welcome back everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Lytham Golf Academy. Driver head-to-head comparison video with two drivers really geared around aerodynamics, club head speed, and that's the new TaylorMade SIM Driver against the Cobra SZ SpeedZone Driver. So there's two real big hitters, I would say, for 2020. We saw some really good performance with both of these in 2019. Big difference between these two is the price point. So we know the Cobra's coming in at £349 and the SIM is around the sort of 459, 469 sort of area. So there's a good over £100 difference of price. Do we see that in performance? We're going to find out in this particular video. GC code on the floor as always, so provide you with some numbers, datas and my personal feedback on the looks, the feel and the performance of these drivers. Okay, so we're going to start off with the SpeedZone Driver. So we've got 9-degree head set at 9 degree. We've got the movable weights on the sole with the SpeedZone, and I've got the heavy weight in the forward position. So similar sort of setup to the SIM. Obviously, SIM's got that movable weight in the front, the heel to the toe. I'm going to position that in the forward section, so that it's got that weight more forward there in the middle, and obviously got a little bit of weight at the back, so similar to here with the 2 gram weight in the back in the SpeedZone. So beautiful looking club head, the Cobra. I think it's a great club. The beautiful infinity face now, extra that milling and that infinity, I think just looks absolutely stunning. Beautiful sitting it down by the golf ball, just that little bit of yellow just outline that heel and toe section, sits great. Nice and square, just nice little bit of logo in on the top. Beautiful gloss black finish, black face, looks very sort of stealth. Let's get this first one hit. Oh, that feels great. That feels so good off the club face. Really good sort of solid strike with that opening shot there with the SpeedZone. So as I say, there's very much a focus on aerodynamics, and there probably has been for a few years. So SpeedZone has this beautiful, looks like a twin exhaust of a sports car in the back. Got to say, that looks absolutely mega. So it's that little raised sort of section, or that lowered section at the back there, again about aerodynamics. And the SIM is very, very similar, a little bit more pronounced maybe than the Cobra, definitely not as good looking back end as the Cobra, but again it's all geared around trying to get that aerodynamics, that extra club head speed. Okay, so that was a bit of a juicy opening there at 314 from the Cobra, setting its benchmark out there very nicely. If they can all stay like that, that could well be the win in terms of that distance. That's good. Feels really solid. Fractionally left side there, but that's running out pretty aggressively. And again, that's into that 310 area. So I have got this with that heavy 14 gram weight, which is the red weight in the furthest forward position. So it's putting its most low spin sort of setting, which tends to sort of suit me a little bit better. It's a good strike again. A little bit higher flight, fraction up that right hand side that time. Just trying to maybe protect that left one a tiny bit. Probably won't be quite as long that, yeah, sort of 297 area. Those little slight right ones just tend to be a little bit more weaker than the slight overdraws left, tend to spin up a little bit more. Does sit beautiful behind the golf ball. And I quite like the way that infinity face just drifts over into the top of the head. It doesn't look intrusive when you sit it behind the ball because it's black and black, so it doesn't really sort of stand out, it just blends really nicely. Again, a little bit up that right side there, just strike was good. Just not quite controlling that there. A bit of a more of a rarer shot for me is that shape. Again, strike superb, flight's really strong. It's just drifting up that right a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to hit one more shot, just struggling to control that a little bit. Solid. Light again, just fractionally fading. Yeah, a little bit different for me that. Not used to that shape. 297. Okay, so a little bit of a mixed bag there. Got a couple which felt really quite sort of nice, just typical shape I would tend to sort of see up that left side. They didn't feel any different in terms of swing wise. Strike was really, really nice on them. and they've just drifted up that right a little bit. Okay, let's move into the SIM Driver. We'll hit a batch of shots and then we'll compare some numbers. Right, okay, so SIM Driver in our hands. The movable weight at the front, we can move in heel or toe, make more draw, more fade biased. And again, the big talking point here is aerodynamics. And what TaylorMade are focusing on is that aerodynamics is at its best at this part of the swing, that sort of 20-degree angle where you're going to create the speed into that golf ball, again, potentially creating as much ball speed as possible. So that's where we see this sort of lowered sort of middle section, which does look a bit weird when you look at it around the bottom of the club, but you obviously don't see any of that as you put it down by the ball at address position. It's much deeper, as I'll show you some pictures up here, much deeper on that lowered section than it is on the Cobra. So again, it does look a little bit more stranger. It doesn't look as good. The Cobra, though, twin exhaust, red twin exhaust, you can't beat a twin exhaust. It looks mean, it looks fast. So the TaylorMade one isn't quite as pretty as the TaylorMade, but again, putting that down by the golf ball, I'm a big fan of the SIM look. I think the colour, that grey charcoal carbon colour, the slimmer white or the off-white is beautiful. Not sure they need the SIM wording on the head. Maybe just spoils it a little bit for me, but love the shape of it, love the look of it. Let's get this first one here. Getting solid sound. And that's just moved a little bit up the right hand side. Probably just a bit of me today, maybe. I was thinking it was the Cobra was just making those go up that right side there. Maybe it's just a little bit of me. Unfortunately, can't blame the clubs. Good solid sound there. Love the sound, the acoustics of that. You know, that carbon. Probably just not quite as loud as the Cobra, maybe. Oh, it's a little bit bottom, but that's flowing quite nice. Be interesting to see club head speed 117. That was a little bit quicker. 304. Didn't get the most out of that just through that strike. Ball speed 164. Spin just crept a little bit just because it's a touch lower. Again, it'd be really interesting to just look at club head speed and see which one is quicker. Oh, that's bombed. That is bombed. 312. So I've had a longer one with the Cobra, but that felt fantastic. The flight was really strong on that. Really do enjoy the sound of the TaylorMade, that carbon. The sound just feels really solid to me. Feels great off the club face. Looks super behind the golf ball. Very premium looking. Ooh, so just a bit leak up the right. Again, it's a super strike. Great ball flight. Again, just a little bit leaky up that right hand side. 117 club head speed again. Slightly right shot. We know it sometimes goes a little bit weaker. That's 310. Be interesting to look at these numbers. And of course, the other thing we really need to look at as well is dispersion, isn't it? You know, it's all right trying to squeeze these ones, which is the longest, but length isn't everything. It's more sort of obviously trying to get something that's repeatable, consistent, and obviously keeping that ball in play at the same time. So we will have a look at those dispersion numbers. That's good. Pretty straight on that one. Didn't get all of that. Don't think that'll be as long. That's not bad though. 305. Didn't really feel like I got that. 116 club head speed. Interesting. Okay, one more with TaylorMade, and then we'll go and look at some numbers. Again, that feels great. I've just slightly leaked it, but I tell you what, that's such a good ball flight. And that's out there. Wow, there's the longest one, 317, 165 ball speed, 2,100 spin, 292 carry. That's impressive. Right, this could be interesting. Let's go look at some numbers between those two drivers. Okay, so we're going to take a little look at the dispersion first. So the red dots are the Cobra balls, and the blue is the TaylorMade. So dispersion you can see a little bit better with, well, much better with the TaylorMade, a bit more consistent. Not only the right to left, I did have some sort of strange right misses there with that Cobra, but then again I did have a couple of right misses with the TaylorMade, so clearly me on the day of today swinging just not quite normally get my little left miss, which is quite nice in a way. But obviously you can see more bigger right mist with the Cobra, and obviously a little bit shorter as well, so the front to back dispersion a little bit bigger from those ones on the left there to these ones on the short right. TaylorMade, yes, I did get some right ones, but they're still pretty long, so the front to back dispersion is much tighter as well as the left to right. So TaylorMade running a little bit more on that dispersion on those 6 shots hit with each club. Moving into the numbers to the table here, so we've got the speed zone there, so we're averaging ball speed 162 and we're looking at a club head speed of 115.1 as an average, and then TaylorMade you can see 164.1, so just over 2 mile an hour more ball speed. Obviously we know that can be strike, but we did get just over 1 mile an hour more club head speed, so probably for me that club head speed is turning into the ball speed difference there, so maybe not much hotter off the club face. I've just managed to swing that club a little bit faster with the TaylorMade, so we could have an argument there that TaylorMade is a little bit more aerodynamic. Okay, the shaft length, by the way, is exactly the same on these 2 clubs, and the shafts are the same, so that just so you know, that is going to keep the test as equal as it can possibly be. Launched with the speed zone 11.6 against 10.7 with the TaylorMade. Spin was a little bit higher, 2,500 against 2.2 with the TaylorMade. A little bit tighter on the lowest at just over 2,000 to 2,453. Cobra got the 1791 up to a 3161. I know strike will change that, but that's quite a bit of a jump in it between those two, sort of lowest and the highest there. Peak height 34 against 30, so a little bit higher flying with a little bit more spin through that little bit of launch. Obviously it's going to drop off a bit of distance, so 276 carry, 285 with a TaylorMade, and obviously a good 10-yard difference on that rollout as well. Right guys, so there we go. TaylorMade SIM against the Cobra SpeedZone drivers. So for me, 2 really sort of good drivers. On that particular test there, we're going to look at the dispersion, the TaylorMade one. Okay, we're going to take a look at for me personally, the look of the club behind the dress. And to be honest, yes, they're very different on the looks with the colouring. The shape of both of them I think are stunning. I think I'm a big fan of the way the Cobra sits. Beautiful, stealth looking, sits really, really square, very rounded shape on it, really, really nice. And the TaylorMade, yes, a bit more colourful, but I love that carbon charcoal with that little bit of off-white sort of split colour. Again, it sits great behind the ball, so it's hard to split, and they're both very, very good looking clubs behind the golf ball. Looking at the club head speed, we've got to say TaylorMade has just nipped it there by 1 point whatever mile an hour. Is that because I'm influenced by the look of it, the feel of it? I don't know. I'd say shaft length is the same. Is it because of the aerodynamics? Possibly. You know, you comment down below, let me know your thoughts on that. In terms of the feel off the club face, I probably prefer the TaylorMade sound, a little bit more muted. It felt a little bit stronger off the club face. We did see some extra ball speed there, but it did feel a little bit stronger off the face. The Cobra by no means isn't a bad feeling drive. It's a really good drive, don't get me wrong, and it feels good off the club face. Maybe just a little bit more tinnier sound than the TaylorMade, but not by much, to be honest. And then looking obviously at distance, the TaylorMade did win just because of that little bit more speed there and that little bit lower on that spin number in that particular test. So for me, TaylorMade does take it, but you've also, for you guys more than anything, you've got to look at the price point. There's a difference here, isn't there? You know, the Cobra is a good £110 lower on the price point, £110, £120 lower. It's a big chunk of money. We're getting the R cost with the Cobra. You don't get that with the TaylorMade. So there's a lot happening in the Cobra for your money. That has got to be brought into your, obviously, buying pattern. What you're going to do, you know, can you give up that little bit of performance? But you might find the performance different. And this, my message to you guys is always go out and get fit yourself into it. You try this. You could see this being the other way around. You might not get on with the sim. Everybody's a little bit different. For me personally, there, side by side, 6 balls each, same shafts, same lengths, same lofts. Post your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. As always interested to hear what you guys have got to think. Interact. I'll reply to as many of you guys as I possibly can. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, you know what to do. Jump down there, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, get notifications. Any future videos, going to be loads of comparison videos coming your way, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.